Where to find the mud block in Minecraft. This video will explain the new mud block, specifically where to find it and what it can be used for. The mud block is a new type of block that will be added in the 1.19 update, the Wild update. At this point it isn't in the game, but it is in the snapshots for the 1.19 update. There may be some tweaks between now and the release of the update. I'll do another video if anything is changed. Let's start by explaining where to find the mud block. In the 1.19 update, a new biome is going to be added called the mangrove swamp. This is a new swamp variant. It'll generate in warmer regions next to jungles and deserts. It will have mangrove trees and a lot of the features of a swamp biome, but the surface will be covered with mud blocks. The mud block will go from the surface of the mangrove swamp down to the stone layer, meaning that mud blocks will be several layers deep. If you want to get a lot of the mud blocks, going to this biome would be a good option. You also don't have to go to the mangrove swamp. Coarse dirt, rooted dirt, and dirt can be turned into mud by putting water bottles on them. You can also use dispensers with water bottles inside them to turn dirt into mud. Unfortunately, dirt cannot be placed by dispensers, so you will have to manually place the blocks to create mud. You can't do it automatically. What is the mud block? The mud block is a mix of a couple different blocks. It's similar to soul sand in that the player or mob will sink down a few pixels, meaning the mud isn't a full block. It won't slow down your movements like soul sand. This may not be 100%, but from playing around with the mud block, it seems to be similar to the podzol block, in that it won't turn into grass when it is next to it, and the mud blocks won't spread to other dirt blocks. To get the mud block, it can be mined by hand, but the quickest tool to use is the shovel. Mud will drop as a block when mined. You will not have to use the Silk Touch enchanted tool to get it. Also, if blocks like sand or gravel fall on the mud block, they will drop into the item form. However, other blocks that are placed on the mud block will be placed like a normal block. What is the use of the mud block? The first use of the mud block is as a decorative block in builds. Because the mud block isn't a full block, hoppers can be placed underneath to pick up items on top. This is similar to blocks like farmland. This could be useful in farms to pick up dropped items. There are two crafting recipes for mud. The first is mud can be crafted with wheat to create packed mud. This provides you with a different textured block. Also, 4 packed mud can be crafted into 4 mud bricks. Mud bricks will be great for using in paths or to give builds an ancient look. The mud bricks can also be crafted into slabs, stairs, and walls. It can be used in a lot of ways for building. Mud can also be crafted with a mangrove root to create muddy mangrove roots. The muddy mangrove root is similar to mossy cobblestone type blocks. Muddy mangrove roots can be found in the mangrove swamp, where the mud blocks meet the mangrove roots of the mangrove tree. You can also generate the muddy mangrove roots by taking a mangrove propagal, which is a sapling of the tree, and applying bone meal until it turns into a mangrove tree. Where the new tree meets mud blocks can create muddy mangrove roots. The last use of the mud block, which is probably the best use, is creating clay blocks. With the new mud blocks, when they are placed on another block and pointed dripstone is placed under that block, they will turn from mud into clay blocks. The rate this happens seems to be similar to having water source above a dripstone block and filling a cauldron with water. This will make clay a renewable block, which it wasn't before. Clay blocks can be smelted into terracotta blocks, and clay balls can be smelted into bricks.